G'day guys, welcome back. My name is Captain James Force. I'm here with Atlas and I'm joined by Mr. zMightys himself out of Navi. Mate, how you doing?
Doing alright. I'm actually doing alright, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, mate. Obviously, recently come back from Blackpool. Look, not exactly the result you wanted, but geez, mate, you guys put on a hell of a show. And I think, from an outsider's perspective, I think you guys are a hell of a lot closer to Quadrant than you were even at Worlds.
Yeah.
Do you think that's due to the Bandit or just like your play style now, or you've had a lot of time to play them this year? What do you think is the main factor here?
That's a good question. I think bandits do help. I think the bandits do help us a lot. I think we also, the moment that the bandits came out, we grinded a lot. At least like a couple of us grinded like really, really hard.
Yeah.
And I think it shows as well in our gameplay now that we feel like a lot comfortable. I feel like the series would have been a lot, like I feel like playing it on Xboxes was like a really cool experience. Like I'm kind of happy in a way that it was on Xboxes.
Yeah.
Because it gave us like, in a sort of a way, like an even playing field again, because we both really had to adjust to it. So I found out that was a really good one. But I think we got really close because of bandits, but there's also some other stuff going on. So I think that really helps, yeah.
Yeah, and like being on Xboxes, right? Like HCS, you guys play on PC all the time.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you and Glory would have played on Xboxes a lot in the old FFA days,
Yeah.
right? Playing on Xboxes.
Right.
Did it kind of take you, a series against some of the guys in your group? Obviously, you're the number one seed. Did it kind of take you a couple of games to get into the Xbox and get the feel for it back? Or was it pretty much like, we're in?
No, for me, it was like, it took a couple of series. I felt like it took me till probably like Sunday, like Sunday morning, it took me before I could really like feel comfortable again. But I feel like all of us kind of really had that because that was like the first time we started facing off against teams that we felt like we really needed to be like getting to our A-game form, and getting ready. So I felt like everyone really like had a switch and flipped it, and I think that really set us up, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a great winners final. Like, and looking back to last week and beyond for this year, when I was looking up stats for last week, so now you've had 7 grand finals against Quadrant,
Right.
and 6 have gone to resets.
Nice.
What is it with you guys and resets? Like, what is it that like you just whoever wins winners final is just cursed?
Yeah, I think it is a curse at this point. Like, no, I think it's whoever just has momentum as well, like, and feels comfortable on the map side, of course. I feel that we're both really at such a high level right now. We know each other so well that it's just, I don't know, it just keeps returning. Yeah.
Do you think, like, because of, when you win winners final, you have that break, do you think that playing in the lower final is keeping you warm and keeping that momentum? Like, do you think that's the main factor?
I don't think it's the main factor. I would say it 100% helps though, having those, being able to play those games in between. But I honestly could not tell you the reason why I think we're just trying to entertain everyone, like trying to keep EU Halo alive.
49,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, I don't know. I could not tell you. No.
And I guess, if you look back on this year, probably not the most successful year Navi's had, right? Like, had quite a few struggles, team changes. Like, how proud are you guys of having that top 8 at Worlds to make sure that you finished the BR era strong? Like, is that kind of a proud moment for you guys, given how this year went?
I feel like really double on this because I feel like, yes, we are proud, but I feel like all of us kind of feel like, yes, we got top 8 at Worlds, but we felt like we could have easily gone to top 4 and like competed against like the top 3. So yes, we were proud because it's like our peak. Like me and David or Glory haven't like been playing for like, we've been playing for like a year and a half, So going to America Fans and like getting top 8 is really good for us. But yes, we're proud, but we expect more, We know that the sky's like the limit for us. So that, yeah.
And how is it like, you guys have been playing for a year and a half, Jimbo and Snipe Drone, been around a while, let's say.
Yeah.
What is it kind of like getting on, especially, you were first on that team before Glory was, what is it like getting on a team that you have such experienced guys there? Like, what is it kind of that you, what kind of things do you ask them? Like, what do you think you learn from them?
No, 100%. When I first joined Ivy, it was like my big shot, you know? So for me, it was like, I took everything that was being told to me, I took it like in. I took all the information I could get. I was like an open book that was like getting everything down, you know? Like it was, I mean, like you said, I've like people with so much experience around me and I'm a newcomer. So like, what am I gonna say that they're wrong? Like, no, I can help maybe improve a little here and there, but like most of the time I was just listening. Like I didn't even feel comfortable really calming and like calling shots. But over time that came, of course, and it's the same with David now. He had the exact same thing. He just took everything in and got comfortable with us. And that's when they started. That's why you can see it in David now. He's shining because he's taking everything in and he's peaking. And it's only going to get better. That's why I'm so happy about David. Like, so good.
Man, he is so good, honestly. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It's such a joy to watch. And I guess for you guys, like, being FFA players, like it's your own thing.
Yeah.
What is it like also having Wonder Boy back there? Like having the coach in your ear, like how does that kind of change? Like, does he have a lot of impact? Like what is it that he kind of goes through to help you guys stay on task?
So yeah, it does make a big difference having Harry Wonder Boy behind us. It's like, he's our fifth player. Like there's no way around it. The moment that yes, he calls like timers and everything, but like the moment that we go 4 down or in certain like situations, he'll call a shot for us as well. Like he'll keep us in check when we're like tilted, like something happens with someone, he'll be the first guy to say like, it's okay, like keep locked in and keep playing, you know, like I think it's like really important having a player or a coach like that in that sense. And I feel like we're all really good with each other outside the game as well. So I feel like that just, we respect each other and especially our coach.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? And like that's what you want out of these coaches. And you see, like, you kind of look at the higher echelons of HTS and you see like most of these coaches have been players themselves, right? So they know what it's about. And you know, you guys, like I was talking to David as well, like you guys have been to a few events now in the US. Like how's it been, like the first time you rock up to an event, do you also get starstruck? Or are you also like, oh my God, like that's Bound, or like that's like Royal 2, or like that's Lucid and Formal? Like how does that feel like at the start versus do you rock up now and you're like, what's up guys, like just the usual, like
no, that's actually really funny you asked that. So the first event I ever went to was KC last year, and I remember, I think it was me and David, but I'm not quite sure, but I think we were walking across the street and we saw like all of Optic. And like I watched Formal when he was like playing COD and everything, and I was like, that was like the first team I supported was Optic and COD. So seeing him, like I saw just them, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? that's Formal, like that's Formal. They're walking towards it, like what the? So that I was like, I was a big fanboy. I'll be honest, But now it's like, I mean, for me, it's like, now I feel like comfortable enough that I feel like I can win events. So I'm pulling up to events and I see them, like during a tourney, I'm not like talking like anything, we're not friends or anything, like that's the enemy, we're at war literally. My boys are my boys and these are not, like I'm not speaking to these. But I feel like outside the tournaments, it's like great people to talk to.
Yeah, and I mean that's what I had like in with you guys. Like this is the first LAN that I went to, so meeting you guys, like I've casted you guys a long time, right? Like since Infinite began, and meeting you guys. It was the same when Bound rocked in. Like, you put these people on such a pedestal, and you're just regular guys. Like, it's so bizarre.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And like for me, like the thing was, it's like you guys know who I am, and like I chatted to Bound, and Bound was like, oh yeah, like you were on the interviews, right? And I was like,
that's me.
Yeah, like okay, thanks. Like, but I mean, heading into next year, right? Bandits now. What is the goal for you guys? Like, is it to win Worlds? Like, is it to just win an event? Like, what's the best team in Europe? Like, what's your kind of overarching goal?
So, for me, I'm a really realistic person, and My team, when they watch this, are gonna be pissed at me. But for me, let me just start with winning our first event in Europe. And yes, I feel like this team can peak and we can compete with the law of phase, SSG and Optic, like on the day 100%. So yeah, our goal, honestly, of course, will be to win Worlds. But like taking an American event, like even pushing into top 6, top 4, top 3, like I'll be like proud.
Yeah.
Won't be happy, I won't be satisfied, but I'll be proud. So I think the goal for that for me is winning an EU event, first of all, and like breaking into that top 6 and keep getting our peak up basically until we win that American tournament. Yeah, 100%.
And like, you know, obviously when they're in the serve, they're the enemy, but for Quadrant this year, done massive things, right? Like top 6, top 3. How do you think that them getting top 3 has kind of helped not only you, but also like all of European Halo?
100%. Like they made history. Like there's no way around it. They put EU back on the map in a sense. Like there's literally no way around it. Yeah, we at that time at least we didn't play to our best and to our potential. And I'm happy that we're showing up now and showing up to the likes that we go to a grand final like this and being able to show up and show that Europe's still around, you know? Like, I'm happy that they were able to take that first step, but now all of Europe it just shows that we're all wanting and still grinding. So, yeah, I'm really happy, and I'll say it to their face as well, like, I have so much respect for all the guys in Quadrant, and I'm really happy for them as well, yeah.
And do you think, like, you know, obviously now the way that HCS has been doing it, like, top 8 just doesn't count for, like, what placements you get. So like Europe was getting 3 teams, right? Because Quad was top 8. Like how important is it for you? And I guess, you know, how much do you think the rest of EU is going to look up to you guys if both of you can get top 8 and allow 2 more EU teams? Like how much do you think that's going to drive people as well?
I mean, we've already shown it, and I hope that all the EU guys see it as well. But there's going to be like loads of EU teams, 4 EU teams minimum every time to every American event now. Like, us in Quadrant will make sure of it. Like, for me, this event was so surreal. Like, I loved Valencia as well. Like, the vibe in Europe compared to the American events is just so different, so different. So, yeah, I having more EU teams at NA events would be insane. And I'm happy that we're going to be able to make that happen, yeah.
Are we better trash talkers than the Americans?
Oh yeah.
I know we have better chance. If I have to hear one more we are
Let's
Optic,
go.
oh man, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh my god. Speaking of like NA events and, you know, like, who is your kind of, I guess like there's not been that many teams, but like, who is your favorite teammate of all time?
My favorite teammate of all time?
Yeah.
Fucking, why are you asking me this? My favorite has to be David.
Yeah.
Like, starting with him, going to America with him, and then now being reunited on AV and like the stuff that we're already doing of like a couple months being together again is like, probably has to be him. There's a couple big names, but like if I had to choose one, it'd be David, yeah.
Perfect. Well, he didn't choose you. I hope you know that. He went neutral. He said everyone was his best teammate.
So. He's so smart.
Yeah, there's no, doesn't make any enemies.
Yeah, he's so smart.
And I guess, you know, we talk about teammates, but this LAN, you got to play your brother for the first ever time. How was that?
Dude.
Like, it looked fun. I was watching that whole series.
I had so much fun. No, that was probably the most fun I had as well, like, ever probably. It was like, we knew that there was a chance that if they got second in their pool, that there was like a slim chance that we would match up.
Yeah.
And I went outside for some food, and I came back in and I saw like the board, and I just saw like his team and then us. I was like, there's no way this is happening. Like, thank you so much. Yeah, no, it was great. It was very fun, and we both had a laugh. I don't know if a lot of people noticed, but me and my brother had a 1-for-1 at the start on live fire on top mid, which I won actually.
Yeah.
I haven't won now.
Yeah.
just me. But no, that was great. It was a good time. Yeah, that was great.
Awesome, man. I guess like, I talked to David about this as well. Like, for him, it was that he didn't start earlier, but what is your biggest regret out of like your Halo career so far?
Biggest regret. I don't think I have one.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't think I have one. I'm proud at what I've done, and I know that there's so much more to come. So like, I'm not stressed. Not stressed one bit. There's one regret I have is losing Game 5 in Valencia against the Send. That's like,
Yeah.
that will always sting me, and I'm gonna say this next year about this,
Yeah,
about tonight. Like,
yeah.
I know that already. Like, it hasn't fully settled in yet, I feel like, but like, that was still, even though we lost, I'm like really happy what we did and put on the fucking show.
Yeah, man, like people in chat were saying it was the best like Halo final ever, and man, it was so sick.
Yeah,
and I guess like thinking of all those moments, like what is it that got you into competitive Halo? Like how did you begin this journey?
Well, my brother.
Always your brother.
Yeah, always my brother. No, he played like the OG Halos, and when I was growing up, my first actual video game was Halo. Like I played him in a 1v1, like I was 1v1ing him split screen, like in Halo 2 and stuff.
Classic.
Yeah. And for a while I played a little bit of Halo Reach, and I didn't really get back into Halo. I always played video games. And then I started playing my brother went competitive like in H5 a bit, and at the time I was playing Overwatch, and I started getting quite competitive in that, like starting playing tourneys in that as well. And at some point my brother just said like, just when the new game comes out, just give it a try, like please, just give it a try. So he forced me on his team. We started playing, and I was getting messages from every team we scrimmed or every team we played in tourney play. They were like, "Yo, yeah, you're insane! Like you're already better than your brother." And shit. I was like, so then everything just skyrocketed all of a sudden. Yeah.
That's awesome. Man.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
Was your brother like? It was me. I started this.
No, he says that every time. No. And I'll always say it as well. It was my brother, 100%. Yeah. Always say it. I have to as well. Also, you've seen him, right?
Yeah, he's tall, man. That man is a tall dude.
Yeah, he's dangerous.
Brilliant. And I guess, like, being there's been Halo Infinite, like, for you, like, not just for yourself, but, like, whether it's EU or it's, like, the world, like, what's your favorite comp Halo moment of all time?
What, for my like, personal or
no,
just
like,
in
just
general?
like from what you've seen either for EU or like for the world or both or?
I would probably say all time, by the way. Yeah, obviously, by the way. Probably like watching like CGL or CLG like back in H5 and up the game and like Snape I saw just in general. I think that was like my first memory of like competitive Halo, and just seeing them win everything was like, I want to be like that. So I think that's like, I don't know, that always gives me a push as well to keep going. Like being able to think like I can be that guy. Like I want to win events in a row and have like a legacy. Yeah, I think that's probably has to be it.
Awesome, man. Yeah. You talk about legacy, like these guys, came to Blackpool, they played their first ever LAN. Like, what's your advice to someone who's been to NA, like who has played against these amazing teams on LAN, like best teams in the world? Like, what would you just say to people starting out? Like, what's your advice to people who've come to their first LAN?
I would say, well, first of all, if you came to your first LAN, first of all, I'm saying congratulations. Like, it's already ballsy to get here, like that, first of all. But I would say, like, it all comes with time. And for me, I was like really, really nervous back in Kansas at my first event, but like you get comfortable over time, and you just gotta try and keep reminding yourself like you're just at home. Like people are screaming and everything, like especially this event, we could actually like fully hear it, But like we're all like so locked into each other. Just you're there with your brothers. Just keep that in mind. You're fighting with each other, and like it just comes over time. Just keep practicing, keep going, and eventually it's gonna click.
And would you kind of give the same advice to someone who maybe hasn't played Halo before, is now being like, oh, there's a new starting weapon, like maybe I want to give this a go? Like, what's your advice for kind of people coming first time into Halo?
I would say if there's ever a time to actually get into Halo, if there was like a time, it would be now. Like, I feel like, I wouldn't say skill gap is back, but like the bandits help a lot. And you can see in this tournament as well, like there's so many like more reversals. People are screaming the whole time because like it's so different than the VR. It's so much like dopamine you get when you get like a 5 or something, you know? Exactly. Like it feels amazing. So I feel like if there's ever a time and like a big hype, it's like now. Yeah, you should give it a try. And if you don't like it, still give it a try for a little bit longer, and then you can choose for real. Yeah, but I would say give it a try. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. I mean, final question. Like, obviously, we would all love an EU LAN next year, but do you think, like you talked about Overwatch, like Overwatch League, Quake kind of shutting down as well? Like, do you have a worry for HCS in the future, or do you think like something like this kind of proves that we're okay?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping it proves it because I don't know. There's so many teams. There's so much hype for like a third party to be able to produce something like this. I feel like is absolutely insane, and I feel like the turnout was so good. So I'm really, really, really hoping that they recognize that like EU's alive and we won an event and we're capable of having a sick event just as good as an A. So yeah, I really hope so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, mate, look, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Guys, this has been zMightys. I've been Captain James Force. This has been Atlas. We'll see you next time.